I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
Clip up the ride out.
I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
All out when we ride out.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Canelo versus Caleb Plant. They are back in discussions according to The Athletic, which is a pretty reliable source. And so here's the article for The Athletic. Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant talks for November bout back on. And so if you look, it says Canelo Alvarez has reignited talks with Caleb Plant representatives for a first ever 4-belt unification bout at 168 pounds in November. Alvarez's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, told The Athletic Friday, the project we have before us now to unify at 168. We are working real hard on this and hope to get all of this together. Reynoso told The Athletic through a translator on Friday afternoon through a phone conversation. Talks between Alvarez, Reynoso, and Plant's powerful manager, Premier Boxing Champions head Al Heyman broke off last week and were declared dead following disagreements over deal points. Reynoso emphasized Friday that we are free agents and can go fight by fight and have no interest in doing a 2-fight package with Heyman, who also represents potential Alvarez opponents in middleweight champion Jamal Charlo and unbeaten former WBC super middleweight champion David Benavidez. So basically, what you have here is a deal that are negotiations that were once thought to be dead are back on. Eddie Reynoso said that their goal is to unify at 168 and they're free agents and they can go on a fight-by-fight basis. And so they basically just want that one fight, no 3-fight. We've already discussed that, but Trill Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to negotiations being back on between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant?
It's cool because I definitely wanted to see Canelo get those 4 belts, you know. I wanted him to see him be the super middleweight undisputed champion. That's what I was looking forward to. So when I heard them talking about B-Vol and all that, I was like, you know, that kind of puts a little damper on what I was trying to see happen. I want to see Undisputed happen in the heavyweight division. I want to see Undisputed happen in the super middleweight division as well. But it's very unclear. I was just looking up ESPN. They said the same exact thing, that he's moving his date from September 18th to November. And they saying this, you know, like even Bivol's people, they trying to figure out what's going on. They trying to say that they said they're cool on their side. They said they agree to everything on their side. You know what I'm saying? But if the fight, let them know something. Because if the fight ain't gonna happen, they want to fight Arthur Benavidez or they want to fight Ramirez, Gabriel, you know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make plans if that don't happen. So it's a lot going on. Hopefully they can make this fight happen because I think Canelo deserves this. You know, Canelo deserves this, and I want to see no boxing, no life be undisputed. The first Mexican undisputed champion at super middleweight. I would love to see that.
All right, Spirit G.
Yeah, man. Like Trill said, man, this was supposed to be the year undisputed. Like we were supposed to have undisputed in damn near every division. You know?
100
fights just getting canceled, and I'm like, come on, you know what I mean? So I'm happy that this is back on. I am curious to know what happened with the Canelo and Bivol negotiations. Like, why did it get? I guess it sounds like it got just completely canceled. Like. Canelo's just not even trying to have that fight at all.
No, Phil just said it. Bivol's team is waiting to find out what's going to happen with Canelo.
Yeah, but it sounds like if Canelo's moving on with this November date, then that Bivol fight's not going to happen, you know? So unless they're like, he's going to have that fight, you know, in September and then Plant in November. I mean, if he does, man, Canelo's a beast. like 3 fights already this year. You know what I mean? Maybe 4. I don't know. Like, the way Canelo be moving, but I don't know, man. That seems a little. That seems like a lot for Canelo Alvarez. So
now they just said, you know, the pound for pound king planned to fight in September 18, but after prolonged negotiations for 2 different fights, Alvarez has decided to move his next bout to November. Right. Eddie Hearn told ESPN on Friday the Mexican star wanted more time to both train at his gym in San Diego and plot out a deal for his next fight.
All right, cool. That works. You know, hey, Bivol, man, hey, you just got to wait a little longer, bro. But I needed to see this Undisputed. So, and you know, to be honest, man, hey, I'm rooting for Plant. I don't know if he gonna win, but Plant ass off, bro. Like, I don't want to hear no excuses, man. Oh, damn, bro. Please, man. Like, real, man. Put Tennessee on your back. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo might break your back, bro. Paul.
I can't help but think somehow G's prediction or G rooting for Plant is Benavidez related.
Nah, not it. Hey, man, listen, man. Listen. Hey, it would be dope, though. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, Caden, great minds think alike. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm not saying I'm rooting for Plant. Don't throw that at me. I'm not rooting.
Well, hey, listen. I'll say this. Whoever wins, I'm gonna be happy nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? Canelo becomes undisputed, congrats. Plant becomes undisputed, congrats. But I do know Plant is with Al Heyman, just like David Benavidez, and at least I know they'll try to figure something out. You know what I mean? Like, Plant can't hide forever, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think cooler heads prevailed. And they both went back to the drawing board and said, okay, man, let's not blow this fight over egos. You know, it would be ego not to, you know, allow Canelo to get his A side concessions that the A side has typically gotten throughout the history of boxing. And if you're Caleb, you have to look at it like, if you don't fight Canelo, then what's your next option? What are you going to get paid? What risk are you going to take in fighting that option? Especially if they say to you, you're going to fight Jamal Charlo. That's a dangerous fight, bro. You could lose that fight. They say you got to fight David Benavidez next. That's a dangerous fight. You can lose that fight, bro. Right? You can lose that fight and make like 10% of the money you was going to make to fight Canelo Alvarez. So I think cooler heads prevailed, and Caleb's more like, okay. I think Dimitri Bivol was seriously a backup plan and also a leverage play. Like, okay, let's see who has the leverage here. So either Plant's going to fight him, or we can go to Bivol, right? And you see Bivol's not saying, I don't have enough time. Bivol's not saying, I'm not ready. Bivol's like, let me know, because I got Arthur Beterbiev and some other people, but we can make this
Marcus
happen.
Brown, he was like, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting for you.
Bivol's like, we're not finalizing anything until we know what Canelo's going to do. And that's the way that it should be. Again, I'm going to say this again, so there's no excuses. If you are in 168 and 175 and Canelo is available, you should be training to fight Canelo. You should be emailing his team. You should be on Twitter. You should be doing everything, hoping that you can do something that will get you to fight. So I don't ever want to hear that you were caught off guard or you didn't know. You ever hear of a man named Andy Ruiz Jr.?
I was just thinking Andy in my mind.
Andy Ruiz Jr. beat Dimitrenko, and then the whole situation happened with Gerald Big Baby Miller popping positive, and Andy just happened to throw his name out there like, I'm available, guys. They said, you know what? We'll take him. You know, and for Andy, it was a good situation for him because he just had a camp, he just had a fight, and he was still in good shape. So it was the perfect storm for Andy Ruiz, and he went out there and made history. So we also learned from Andy Ruiz. That's what you should do. Andy politely threw his hat out there, and they said, "Well, why not?" You know, that's what all you guys should be doing. So I think Caleb Plant went home, maybe discussed it with his family, and his family was like, "Dude, you really gonna let $10 million go over?" You know what I'm saying? Like, his family said, "You really gonna let $10 million go over some dumbness?" Like, my man, what are we doing here?
Yo, Plant's in the office, people clowning her. Like, yo, man, really don't want to take that Canelo fight? Word? You know?
I think, like, ego, sometimes, like, you get to a certain place, you forget what you're doing it for. And I think, like, a lot of people get to that point where it's like you missed the plot. It's like, yo, if you would have told Caleb when he was a kid that you're gonna get a chance to fight for Undisputed, all the belts, #1 or pound for pound status, and you're gonna make $10 million, Caleb would have said, sign me up. Now as an adult, you're in that position, and then people are talking about, oh, well, you gotta concede that you'll do this or you'll do that, and you're like, hell to the no. It's like, yo, remember that kid who would have killed for this opportunity. And sometimes I think that's what happens in boxing. But luckily, time has passed. Cooler heads had prevailed. Hopefully, they can work something out in November where Plant will get all the money he deserves and the opportunity to make history, and Canelo will get the same. This is a great fight for boxing. I'm hoping that they make it happen. Bill, I think you may be
please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me now. I'm sorry about that. Please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and also check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.